All right, so what's up there, YouTube? It's long time no see. Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy holidays. I hope everybody's having a good Christmas and a good holidays this season. So I want to talk to you guys today about the this Nikon Z9 recall. And I've seen several people post online. A couple of the YouTubers online have posted about how, one guy even said something like, oh, is this the downfall of Nikon? Is it just like the D750 problems that it had constant recalls over and over and over? And I want to address some of these issues. The main issue I want to address is, I don't own a Z9 because it's not the camera for me, like I told you. The Z6 is the camera for me, and probably Z6 III will be the next camera I get, or a Z8, whatever the next body is that has the autofocusing for video that the Z9 has. Anyway, but what I noticed was there's a lot of negativity, and people, I guess people like to put that in the headlines, like something like, Nikon's got a recall, their cameras are all messed up and stuff like this. And I think a lot of that is just for clicks, right? So for a little while there, I used to think it was people just hated Nikon. But no, I think it's just, they just like to, sound shocking, like, oh, is it the end of Nikon? And then when you get in the thing, and some of the comments were, one guy even said something like, is it a wider spread deal and they're just putting it out here to make it sound like it's something minor, a little thing, or is it really a big thing, or have they been getting tons? And honestly, what it is the recall. If you don't know, the recall is some of the cameras were sent out with, there's a faulty button for the lens release. And it's so few cameras. There's literally, I've been scouring for forums. It took me a while to figure out what the heck they were even talking about. I was like, is there lots of reports of this happening or something? I couldn't find anybody that had a problem with their lens not coming off. So apparently somewhere, somebody started complaining. Some of the people were complaining that the lens was hard to get off. Now, I had actually doing some research. One of the people that I saw on Facebook, they had a hard time getting the lens on or off. No, it was on or off. One of the two. They couldn't get the lens off. They were turning it the wrong way. They don't understand that Nikon turns the lenses the wrong way. It's counterclockwise to go on and clockwise to go off. It's the opposite of what you would think. So they were trying to turn the lens in the wrong direction. And they were saying that the lens cap wouldn't come on or wouldn't come off or something. It was something ridiculous, something like that. Well, they just didn't know. Of all the people, there was like one person like that, and then I didn't see anybody else that had a problem with the lens not being able to come off. What I did see was there was a few people in the forum and in the groups and in the Nikon user forum and on Reddit and all this other place. There was a few people that said their serial numbers match the serial number, so they're going to send their camera in to have that part replaced. But that all the ones that said they haven't had the issue with the lens unable to come off. So it's a really, 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 really minor issue. But here's the thing. Would you rather the camera company, since it's so minor, just ignored it and let people have the problem and then send their cameras in and then they fix them, on a per camera basis? Like every once in a while, somebody will have a problem where the lens won't go on or won't come off. So they send it in and then they fix it and send their camera back and act like everything's fine and just change it and just hush and hide it under the rug. Or is it better for the company to come out ahead of the problem and explain that, oh, we've had this problem, some users reported their lenses were sticking, so let's do a recall and go ahead and fix our cameras? To me, it sounds like Nikon's doing the right thing. They're admitting they had a problem with some of the cameras. Send the cameras in. If your camera meets this thing, send it in and they'll fix it. And at the same time that they release this recall, they upgrade the firmware and add more features, again for free, to the Z9, and they upgraded our lenses. So the 85 1.8 that I have will be upgraded. They had a firmware upgrade to allow for better focusing for video, to make it more like rack focusing, so you can put marks on the, little marks on the lens or on the lens barrel, or put tape on it and mark the two spots that you want to focus to and manually accurately focus from one spot to the next every single time. That's fantastic. I mean, I don't see anybody else doing that. So why would, I mean, why do people continue to just bash them all the time? Like like they make it out like, this guy made it out like because of these recalls, it could possibly be the end of Nikon. And I was like, wait a minute. If they survived the D750 that had recall after recall after recall, wouldn't they possibly survive the Z9 that's had no recalls except for this one thing that they found, and they went ahead and recall it to fix it? And it's a far superior camera to any other camera they've ever made, bar the D850. But even the D850, this Z9 is actually turning out to be even better than the D850. So I don't understand the hate that constantly goes towards Nikon. And there was I watched another video. This guy I watched a video the other day. This YouTuber was a Sony shooter and Canon shooter, and he said that his friend said, "Hey, you should try the Z9." And he said, "I've never shot with Nikon. Everybody made fun of Nikon, and they had pictures of the camera as a potato, and because it was so bad for video." And I'm like, what camera are you talking about that was bad for video? The D750 was fantastic for video, and I know for a fact because I had one, and I shot with a Sony user who was using the A7 something. I forget which one it was, but it was one of the popular ones that came out back a few years ago. And we compared footage, and he couldn't believe how sharp and clear the footage was on my D750 compared to his Sony. And the Z6 is better than the D750 by a mile. It's so much easier to shoot with. I'm shooting with it right now. It's so much easier to shoot with. It's better camera for video. The Z7 is better for video. The Z9 is better for video than any previous Nikon camera. So I don't understand the constant hate for Nikon when it comes to video. The Nikon shoots fantastic video, and the Z9 shoots like all the format. They threw everything they possibly could at the Z9 for video, and it's ridiculous. It does everything. He complained that the Z9, the NRAW, didn't work on the Mac, and I get that it doesn't work on the Mac, but that's not a Nikon problem. That's an Apple problem. Because Apple accepted the ProRes and the other one, but it wouldn't accept the 8K footage in NRAW because it's Apple. So that's an Apple problem. See, if I capture footage on my camera and I take it and pop it into the card reader, and I stick it in my card reader, and I try capturing on my computer, and my program won't play it or record it, that's not a problem with the camera. That's a problem with the computer. The computer won't do it. In this case, Apple is behind the times when it comes to the thing. And he said it worked in DaVinci Resolve. So it worked in DaVinci Resolve. It just wouldn't work in Final Cut. Well, isn't that a proof that it's a Final Cut problem? It's a problem with Apple's Final Cut X or whatever version you're using. It's outdated software. The DaVinci Resolve works with it. Edius even works with it. And Edius is... nobody uses Edius, and that works with NRAW. So the Apple needs to get on the stick and update their software to work with NRAW. That's all it is. It's not the camera's fault. It's the software fault. So, I haven't been commenting a whole lot about cameras and stuff in general lately because I've been busy with a lot of different things and a lot of stuff going on, but I just haven't had a chance to. And I thought, I need to get out here and start making some more videos for you guys. So I've got some more coming up. I've got one about guitars and about guitarists and musicians coming up. I'm going to do that one too. I don't know which way this channel goes. I see a lot of people, they lose viewers if they talk about something that the viewers aren't interested in. So if my viewers are only interested in cameras, you've come to the wrong place because I don't just discuss cameras. For instance, I like this. I went to a motorcycle YouTube channel, and the guy was talking about different electric motorcycles and stuff like that, and he was talking about the new Harley, and I went back looking through his videos, and he had videos about guitars and amps too, and he was playing a guitar and playing an amp, so completely unrelated to the thing. And I like that because it was interesting to me to see about something else. Now sometimes I think if you do one like if you're mostly about tech and about computers, photography, video, stuff like that, and then you do one about, like, there's one of my things does this guy that starts talking about Starlink. I'm not interested in Starlink at all, so I won't watch those videos. So he does lose a user, one of his audience members, because I'm not watching a video about Starlink, because I don't care about Starlink. I don't want Starlink. I'm not even interested in it. So it's possible I won't, but see, the next time he comes out with another video about cameras, I'll click on it and watch it. So he isn't really losing me as a viewer, but he is losing me as a viewer on that video. So I'm sure maybe the other people that he's losing on cameras will watch that. But if 90% of his channel is about cameras and the other 10% is about Starlink or something completely unrelated, is that costing him views? Just like me, does that cost me views when I talk about guitars or amplifiers, or if I talk about motorcycle riding, or if I talk about photography, and you came here because you saw a motorcycle video of mine, and then you're like, well, what's he talking about cameras for? I don't care about this anymore. Or cell phones or whatever. Do I lose viewers? I don't know. I don't care, really. I mean, I'm here to talk about stuff that I like to talk about and things that I'm interested in. So that's why I do this. I don't do this because I want to get the most views and get the most things. If I was doing that, I would be, outside slapping myself in the face with a fish or whatever it is to try and get views, and doing crazy stuff and showing girls' booties, trying to get, as the cover picture, trying to get clicks. That's not what I'm here for. I'm not here to get clicks. I'm here to talk about things in my life and talk about things that I'm interested in, and hopefully you guys are interested in it too, so you'll watch for those reasons. So what do you guys think about the Z9, the recall? You think it's a big deal, or do you think it's just, it seems to me it's a good thing that they recalled the camera and, had some of the cameras being fixed that had the problem, because then they don't have to, they're getting out ahead of it. But what do you guys think? Do you think it's another case of Nikon's releasing faulty equipment or whatever, and they're cheaping out and messing up cameras? So let me know what you guys think. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and more videos coming soon. And I hope you guys have, if I don't post another video before Christmas, Merry Christmas and Happy Hanukkah and Happy Kwanzaa and Happy Holidays. All right, YouTube, see ya. I'm out.